Ladies and gentlemen, resellers across all platforms, Pocket Change Podcast proudly presents the greatest reseller podcast in the world. It's Joe Philly Picker, Dan in demand, and I am Jimmy Old School Flips. What's going on?
Nothing. You froze the entire time while you were doing the intro.
Did I? What's going
like
on?
You're just freezing right now.
It still records, right?
It still records. He wanted to do good on this terrible intro. He said,
"Yeah,
he's do good on my
terrible." You know what does make sense? I'm wired in. My technical difficulties on the podcast, folks, but I'm wired. Like I have wired in connection, not using Wi-Fi or anything, and it even shows on my screen.
I know when we first started, we sat down to start. You were on me and Joe about our wiring and stuff, and I do Wi-Fi. You told me I shouldn't do that, and look at now you're wired, and I don't know. You're blurry. I don't know if I've been drinking or what. You're blurry.
I thought, well, maybe you need new glasses.
I do. I got not a memory. I have I guess it's a memory. I got a text from Meyer Optical that I need to do my eyeglass appointment, and I haven't, so maybe I'll do that soon.
Yeah, I
won't. I don't know.
I just went for my eye doctor appointment last week.
You still 2020?
Yeah, they said I could probably use like a low reading glasses, whatever it is, like a 1.0.
Oh, you need
or
some readers? So you don't wear contacts or anything?
No, nothing.
You wear cool sunglasses in the sun?
They're not. I gave up on the whole sunglass thing. Like I used to go out there and buy like good sunglasses.
Oakley's?
Yeah, like Oakley's, $100 pair, all this other stuff. And I would either lose them, sit on them, break them, whatever. So now I literally just buy cheap sunglasses whenever I see them at like a flea market or a yard sale, whatever I can get my hands on. It doesn't, and I don't. It's like a stress reliever. I don't worry about that now. Before I used to worry about where my sunglasses were, where did I put them.
You just put them on your shirt.
Just wear them on top of your hat, right there.
Yeah, well, I stopped wearing hats. I thought I was going bald.
You don't have
a hat on, man.
What are you talking about? You know. But Joe's, I hate sunglasses. I've never worn, and I hate them. And I've always been told by eye doctors, because I have light eyes. Joe, you have light eyes too. Dan, do you have light eyes?
I don't know.
We're supposed to be wearing sunglasses, Joe, because the
I know. Well, I can use
snow and stuff.
With part of my insurance, I can use a certain amount of that money that they allow you. If you need glasses, I can use them. Since I don't have glasses, I can use that for sunglasses. I think I did it one time in the last 10 years or whatever. And I think the sunglasses lasted, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks before I ended up breaking them.
You know what glasses I hate more than any glasses in the world, but it like officially makes you old when you get those transition ones. The ones that when you go outside, they transition into sunglasses.
Oh, I was just gonna say I always wanted a pair of those.
I hate those, man.
Really?
They wanted to give me those. I'm like, no.
Well, what happens? Like, if you walk indoors, does it automatically just go to like clear, or does it?
Doesn't usually happen
like fades.
It takes some time.
Yeah. I don't
so you could be if you're
like grandpa,
so you could be blind for 30 seconds before it.
Yeah. Man, because I bought my glasses on. I bought my glasses on online. It's Zini Optical. Yeah,
that's what I did. Yeah,
did you buy them on Zini?
It looks like you two have the same glasses.
I just got the Dan special.
I got so obsessed with them. I have 15 pairs.
What?
Of glasses. The glasses frames with the lenses was like $50.
Yeah.
And I used this is back.
When code Dan in demand for 5% off.
You need to get
that would
link.
It's been so long, but it was such a good deal. And then the reviews on the glasses I have, this won't be good for listeners. It has like a wire right here. I mean, not wire, but it's really thin right there on the side.
I've never seen Dan without his glasses on. That was a moment for me right there.
Oh, the only reason I have glasses is because when I dealt, my eyes in the casino would dry up because they pumped air.
Really?
They pumped air in there. I wore contacts forever, and then I switched to glasses because I kept on having to get tapped out of my table to put eye drops in, so I could my contacts kept falling out, so I got tired of it, and then I didn't take care of my eyes. My eyes I would never take my contacts out when I'm supposed to, so they would dry up, and I'd wake up and my eyes would like be bloodshot. And then I was afraid I was gonna go blind, so I switched.
Yeah, that'll scare you.
Yeah. Now, Dan, tapping out is that like really what happens? You just like start tapping on the table.
No.
Like a tag team wrestling match where the guy you run over the corner and
you tap one tap on the shoulder.
That means you got to get out.
Yeah. And if it wasn't like dealers switch dealing poker, we switched every 30 minutes. So if you just sat down, and someone tapped you out, you were like, oh man, I'm probably gonna get in trouble here.
So you can't tap yourself out though. Like it's not like
you're
like
sitting
when
there.
Your eyes are hurting. You can't be like, someone come and tap my shoulder. You can't be like, get me out of here.
No, you have to call someone. You had to call someone over, and if it was an emergency, the supervisor would tap in. Gotcha. If it was an emergency after the hand was over. I mean, I know a few episodes ago I was talking about something. I had some other stuff happen to me like on a table that was just like it was awful. I don't want to talk about it, but like I was like had to get tapped out like and running. It was not.
So that does happen.
Barely
right?
call. I couldn't call the floor. If
you just had to go.
I just had it. Well,
I mean, you say tap out, I feel like I just picture someone putting you in a figure 4 leg lock and you having to tap.
No, you just one tap on the shoulder and that gets it going. So we already ruined this episode today. I was like, all right, we're gonna just start talking about reselling. Let's talk about reselling or something. Let's go.
Let's talk about sourcing. Let's talk about sourcing. How is sourcing going? Like, are you guys able to get out there? Like, we kind of talked a little bit about this. Like, do you have stuff to list? Is it getting to be a concern? We're in the middle of winter right now, right? So for a lot of us, it's not easy to find stuff.
I mean, yeah, I'm at the bottom of the barrel here looking for stuff. The last week, I think Thursday, I went to a local thrift store. And all week last week I was waiting. Saturday was 50% off sale at Goodwill. So I was getting to, by the time we recorded last week, weather was bad, and I wanted to I was barely listening. I was listing a few things that I have around. I think Joe talked about last week. He had projects that he was working. I had stuff like that, stuff that it's been sitting around that I need to do some. It had some problems with it. And I found like a bag of shoes that I was listing some shoes, and then anyway, I was waiting to get to the 50% off sale. And then one day I got done with the little bit of listing I was doing. I spread out my listing. I was spreading it out. I think I talked about it last week. I was kind of just listing a few things a day just to make sure I was listing, because I that's in my head. That's what I need to do. It's not listed all in one day. Plus, you feel a little more like you've had a productive day, right? If I just listed 20 items today and then I don't list anything the rest of the week.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. I've listed one thing today so far. I did my shipping though. Anyway, I went to a local thrift store, the church thrift store. I haven't been there. They were on Christmas break, and then the following week was kind of nasty weather, and it's not that far of a ramp, but it's a ramp to go up you have to walk up a ramp to get into the place, and it's a little bit of a hike, and I didn't want to walk it, to be honest. It was cold. I didn't want to walk all the way there. So
hey, that's a slip hazard right there. You'd be sliding back down if you hit.
I could own the thrift store. I could own it. The thrift store is the old YMCA, and it's where I went to preschool. That has nothing to do with anything.
Oh wow!
So, and it's right. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the old. You went to preschool at the YMCA.
Yeah.
I didn't know YMCA's had preschool, but do they still have preschools? Look, I could take us off track. I'm not going to do that.
I have no. Yeah, let's say. Yeah, we only stayed off. We didn't. We start. Oh, my. Don't look. My button just came off my shirt.
He's got a wardrobe malfunction going on.
Well, I need to make some money so I can buy some new shirts, because my old shirts are they're getting worn down. The buttons, because I fidget with them when I'm nervous when I'm talking. So I mess with them all the time. And now they come loose and it just pops out. It just pops open. And then a lot of them, the top button on my Henleys just popped off. They're gone. The sides do have extra buttons, but it seems like a little bit of a waste of a time.
Yeah. Have you ever used one of those extra buttons ever?
Yeah, I have. When I find something to resell,
it doesn't have a button.
The back pocket doesn't have a button. I don't do it, but I get my mother to do it. And I ask my mom, "Hey, mom, can you sew?" Which I don't know.
Well, you already know that, right?
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, I know she can sew. I try not to bother.
I've never used one, Joe.
No, I don't think I ever
Really?
either. No.
And I even put in my listing that I used the extra button.
I don't think I've ever sewn anything though. I don't know how to sew.
There's some psycho out there
and I can't send it to my mom to sew. I got my mom. She sewed her finger one time.
Oh
God. I'll never forget that day. Me and Sonia get a call. He's like, I just sewed my finger. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? She's like, I just sewed my finger on the sewing machine. And I was like, so what does that mean? Like, why are you doing that? And she's like, no, it was an accident. Like this, and we got there and like it went right through the nail of her finger, man. And she had like blood coming out of the back of her finger.
Oh wow,
man, that had to hurt. So I don't ask my mom to sew anything anymore.
Yeah, I get nervous sometimes. Like if I go to the dry cleaners to drop something off, and they usually know me there. I just have to give them my phone number and whatever. But the lady that's sometimes doing this sewing or whatever, she's having a full blown conversation with me while sewing something or hemming something or whatever. And I always get nervous. I'm like, I don't want to be in here when her hand gets sucked in that machine and all that other stuff. So
yeah, that's not. I know, like it went into her bone and everything, so she was in some pain, like that. It went right through. Yeah, sorry. Maybe this is.
Yeah, can I go back to my story?
Yeah, you can go back then. Go ahead.
Yeah, go back to your story.
Well, so anyway, I went to the local thrift store and they have. It's not a very big store. It doesn't take very long to go through. And I find stuff here and there. I was sourcing through there, and I found like 10 items. I had like eight hats, and then I found 2 pairs of jeans. So I was pretty happy to find a couple things. But anyway, by the time I got to Saturday, we were on a winter weather advisory, and we got like warning, and we got just nailed with snow over the weekend. And I didn't get out. I was snowed in. So then I'm excited because it's okay because then Tuesday it's 40% off sale, and then now until tomorrow afternoon it's like a ice storm outside.
Well, Jack Frost doesn't like Dan. Is it Jack Frost that drinks the weather? I don't know. I got to go to the bins on Saturday. I did pretty good. But it's getting hard. Like you said, it's getting hard. The death pile is dwindling, and you start to look at some of this stuff. And do you guys get to that point where you start looking at this stuff in your death pile? And you're like, why did I buy this?
Absolutely. Every day.
Well,
every day.
The stuff I don't have listed is like just literally I have some sweaters that I've piled up that are I didn't see the big hole in the elbow, and I want to take them all and just lot them all together and just sell them as like a material, like lamb's wool and like that kind of. I want to do that, but I haven't. It's just not that. That's not fun. But it's just been something. I had something to list and something to do, and I did hats. Like I found those hats and I did those. I've been doing some toys that I found from the bins, and I did stuff that I had that was from my whatnot I was finishing. I have nothing good. Nothing that's exciting.
It affects your sales when you don't have goods. Like when you're able to get out there and find a lot of good stuff and you're listing it. Well, like I said, I've listed stuff and I've sold, as a matter of fact, I listed one of the calculators I found on Saturday and it already sold. So like when you're finding good stuff and listing that good stuff, you're getting sales because you're listing good items. But when you're not able to find and get out there and source and find good stuff and your death pile is dwindling, it affects your sales. I mean, I'm thankful for the sales I have, but my sales, and I think that's a big part of why my sales have slowed because I'm not listing like great items. Some of it's great, but most of it's just like, here's a lot of Peppa Pig figures, and here's a lot of, nothing that like someone's like, oh my God, like I did sell those Yeezys though that I found. Yeah, I got $114.99 for those things.
Did you have
those? I haven't told that story.
Oh yeah, you did.
No, I told you guys. I didn't tell.
No, he told us afterwards.
Oh, he told afterwards.
Yeah.
Sonia found some Yeezys at the bins, and it's funny. The story, it's kind of a funny story because
no, it's not funny at all.
It is because you guys can make fun of me about it. We get to make fun of me, and that's.
I was hoping you weren't going to tell this story. Then people are just going to be like, "Oh my God, this guy."
Yeah, Sonia. Cue Chris Cajun. He's going to say it. Sonia's the star, the all-star, the star of the show over here. She's
I was the star of the show.
No, the star of the Old School Flips eBay store. Yeah, Dan 100% is the second or third star of Pocket Change.
What the heck is
Maybe
that
followed by Joe, and then the no. So she found these. They're called Yeezy foam runners. Have you heard of these?
I've heard of them only because of the kids talk about them. But
so they're like the material of a Croc, too, but like they're like a skeleton. They're like an exoskeleton like look to them. Like they basically wrap around your whole foot. It's weird. Anyway, so Sonia found a pair of them at the bins, and I walk up. Well, I also see like Walmart sells their generic version of these, and I see them there all the time, right? And I'm like, yeah. So I walk up to Sonia, I'm like, those are fake, like those are Walmart cheapy ones. And she goes, well, it says Adidas on the bottom. And I was like, what? And I had thrown them back into the bins. I was just a jerk. Because I didn't mean to be like, I'm a jerk. Okay. But I didn't mean it. I was just like, oh, those are those fake Walmart ones I see all the time. Like, they're not real. And she's like, well, this says Adidas on the bottom. I was like, what? And I grab them back. I don't even know why I did. Like, I automatically just thought there's no way they're real, right? And then, sure enough, I researched them, looked at them, and they were the real deal foam runner Yeezys.
I mean, they really do feel like nothing. I mean, when you pick them up, it's just it's nothing there. But did you have to send them to get authenticated?
They are on their way to getting authenticated right now. But from what I looked at, they're real. I mean, they're not fake.
Yeah. So the authentication process, you have to ship it through FedEx.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how far? Where did you have to go to FedEx? How far is your FedEx?
We have a small it's a company called Pack and Ship here.
Oh, okay.
It's just a small person,
fake post office is what Joe called them.
I call them the fake post office. Yeah.
But they're like literally our only. I mean, we have a CVS drugstore that we can take them to.
Oh, they do have CVS there?
Yeah, but this small pack. I use this packing company. I think Eric OBX. Shout out to Eric OBX. By the way, we were on their channel, Reseller Information Network. Go check them out.
Yeah, we never talked about that last week.
We didn't talk about that, so we got to mention that this time. But Eric, he's one of the hosts on there, and he has always mentioned like he has a little shop in his town. When he sells something big, he'll just take it to there and let them pack it for him, and then he'll give them the label. Well, I have that place now too. And like there's like I sold a blow mold, and I was like, let's go see. And she packed it up for me for like $8. And I was like, I'll pay you. And it was her. And then she charged me for the box that she used. So she $8 to pack it, then the box, which was nothing, like a couple bucks. And I was like, well, I'll pay $10 out the door to have this lady. And then I'm supporting a small local business too. So like I'm like all for it. You know, I sold the blow mold for $180. I don't care if I lose $10 in packing.
I was just gonna ask, like, what price on something like that would you trust? I would be scared to death to let someone do that.
Well, I will say you're right because I let her. It's like the one lady that's always there. I don't know if she is the owner.
It might do a better job than I would do anyway. But
the one time she packed something, I was a little concerned, and so from that point on, like if it's something. So like I sold a Mr. Christmas skating rink, like a big skating rink.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen they're like electric skating rinks. You plug in these little figures, skate around on them, and it's a good size box. It's a big box, and I was like, I'm gonna let her pack this. But before I do, I open it up. I bubble wrapped anything inside, and then I bubble wrapped the box on the outside just one time, just to give it, and then gave it to her to box it because I could tell she wasn't using a lot of void fill, which we know about you on something like that. We got to make so. I did the void fill part on my own, but I still let her box it because I do. I mean, I know it sounds like I do want to support my local small businesses. She's really nice. Like, if I didn't do that, all I'm using her for is to drop off the packages and then see you later. I never pay her anything. Like, here's my UPS packages. Here's my FedEx packages. Like, I know she gets her cut, but like that's all I'm doing with this company is dropping off packages every day. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna help support their small business and ask them the boxes and I'll pay them to do it. So anyways, I've been doing that, and that's they're called Pack and Ship right here. It's just a small little business.
I just gotta give you some grief.
Do it
for your items. You have Sonia packs up all the small stuff and you packed up the big stuff. Now you're outsourcing the big stuff.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. So I do nothing is what we're
Yeah, that's what I want.
that's the ultimate goal, Dan. That's the ultimate goal is to do nothing around here. I gotta be able to watch football.
Oh, we can't.
Yeah.
This isn't the pot. This is not
Yeah.
the time to turn to that for.
No, we don't want to talk sports.
I would love to talk about podcast or football.
Well, I mean, you're dying to get this to a political podcast, aren't you?
I'm very excited to know your guys' take on what you think is going to happen in New Hampshire tomorrow.
What's happening in New Hampshire? I don't
like you don't know, Jimmy.
I don't.
All right. Well,
called the New Hampshire caucuses. I don't even know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't. We'll talk. I don't follow
no, I'm
any
not
of that
talking
stuff.
about politics.
No, let's do it. No, I'm just. No, I don't follow any of that stuff. Come on.
all right, let's just go religion. Let's forget about politics. Just talk religion.
Okay.
Yeah, get your little Joseph up from behind you up over there.
Then I got Buddy Christ over here.
Who?
Buddy Christ.
Buddy Christ.
Buddy Christ.
What the heck is that?
This is great for the.
Where's his arm?
From Dogma. From Dogma. If you're listening on audio.
I've never seen Dogma.
You've never seen Dogma?
Never seen Dogma.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's good.
It's good. All right.
I don't know.
Ben Affleck. Is Ben Affleck
DVD to sell too.
Ben Affleck's in it. Matt Damon.
Okay, I knew. Like I've never seen it. I know about it, but I've never seen it.
I think to get it to I think the special edition might be.
Isn't there like one of the movies from Dogma, like a VHS or DVD that's worth money?
It's the
DVD special edition, right?
Yeah, it's a special edition DVD.
I don't know if it's like crazy money, but it's like it's a DVD worth selling.
It's one worth picking up if you ever find it.
I mean, you know, within I mean, whatever your thing is, I don't know. I haven't looked it up in a while. I mean, $12 to $15. I would right? It might be 20.
It might
it's
be
nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
It's not like the Cars VHS.
But something like that is like I love fun. I would list that stuff if it sells fast. $12 to $20 and something so simple as like a DVD. I would do that all day. That's what I would
pay, and he would pay $15 for it, and he'd sell it for.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I might. I just sold this weekend. I just sold a wrestling figure that I bought. I did a retail online arbitrage last year on them. It's a wrestling figure of Ken Shamrock. You guys remember Ken Shamrock?
Shamrock.
He was
a UFC fighter also, right?
Yeah. He came over from UFC and was in the WWE. It might have been the WWF when he started, but anyway, it was on Target. And Target, I have a Target red card, like their credit card thing that they have.
Ooh.
Because when I got into reselling,
I find out about Dan.
The red card.
I mean,
my red card. My red.
He doesn't have the platinum card. They
call it the red card. But when I got into reselling this last time, I wanted to do online like retail arbitrage. I thought that was my ticket, was Amazon sales. So anyway, like I opened up a Target card to get like you get 5%. You get I don't know if it's 5%. You get some percentage off. You get some kind of exclusives and stuff like some. Anyway, something when I'm just getting into reselling, I thought it was something that's going to absolutely just skyrocket me to being an absolute reselling genius. And all it did was cause me grief and headache. But anyway, I have this red card, and they constantly send me a message that they're going to close my account if I don't buy something.
You got to use it.
You have to use it. So I don't know. I'm not very smart on that kind of things. Those kind of things. Shut up. I'm trying to be a professional. I don't want to say that. I want to try to be a real podcast, a reselling podcast, whatever you want.
So you did some retail arbitrage on your red card, like
last year I bought these wrestling figures because they were like half off. They were like $11.99. And anyway, I listed them so I sold one yesterday or this weekend for $30 free shipping. Like I paid $12 for it a year ago. Sat for a year. I sold it for $30 free shipping. It's going to California. And if you didn't notice when you did your shipping today, like the shipping rates went up. So it cost me like $7 to ship it to California. So I had $19 into it, and I sold it for $30 minus fees and everything. I mean, what did I make? Like a cool $5?
Hey. Over a year.
But I didn't use my credit card. I didn't get my credit card closed.
Man, but I would like what I would want to do with something like that is like I've always told something. I wish I could go and buy a bunch of clearance toys and then just put them in tubs and store them for 10 years.
Like Legos.
Then
People do that with Legos.
People do that with Legos, right? That
Legos,
Lego
right?
thing and all that.
Like that would be cool.
That's the way to do it. 10 years. I mean, if you buy the right toys, you can do really good.
Before a couple of years ago, I got back into collecting sports cards and stuff like that. Anyway, this year they sent me another letter from Target that they're going to close my account. So I bought some basketball cards.
Of course.
To rip open.
Okay.
So I spent like $50 on these cards, and it's absolutely garbage in there.
Yeah.
So that was a big waste of money. I thought about I should have just listed those and just got my $50 back. I should just let my account close, to be honest. Like,
yeah, I mean,
if you're only using it once a year.
There's some logic that's missing here. Why are you keeping that red card just for a status thing? Walking around?
No.
I'm on a podcast. I gotta tell everybody I got a red card.
What happens if there's something that I really want, like need or something?
Then you sign up again for it. It's not like can you not sign up?
I don't know.
If you're banned from the red card, you don't get it again.
Well, if they close it, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why.
Probably something.
Because I do tell you, I did one point. I used it to buy my AirPods, and it's the best purchase I've made.
It's good to have for like a emergency, or if there's something that comes up that you need to buy right away and you don't want to spend all the cash.
Yeah, I mean, but
I hate going to Target though.
Oh, I only go on Target.com. Oh, that was the
Target.com.
I did I bought like those stupid video games. I had this big plan. I was gonna buy video games. They were like buy two get one free, and I was telling my mom all about this driving around like one day, and I was like, Mom, yeah, buy two and get one for free. I'm gonna sell them. I'm gonna make money. And she's like, Are you sure, Daniel? You're gonna really make money doing that? And I'm like, Yeah, there's no way. If I'm getting one free, I'm gonna make money. Like,
man, it's time that you need, because I think about when I first started. I tried doing the same thing. Like I was doing the retail arbitrage, and it's not for me. Like I'm like with Dan, like it's not. I feel like it's a job doing retail arbitrage. But one time I did go to a Walmart, and they had a bunch of 3DS games on clearance. Now they were still like $15 a game, but it was good titles. There were Pokemon games in there and Zelda games in there, still sealed. If I could have gone back and bought all those, I would have bought them all, because now those games sealed are, going for $50, $60 easily. Some of them are, because you can't walk into a Walmart and find a sealed 3DS game anymore. The Switch games are all there is now. Like there is no. Yeah. So, and then I remember there being like Zelda, and there being some Pokemon games and some like Smash Brothers stuff in there. And if I would, not a lot, but there were probably 10 games I could have bought that day for $150. Today, here 5 years later, they would be worth some good money. So it's like, if you have,
it's all risk though.
Buying stuff like that and putting it away, I feel. I mean, I know there's people that do good right off the bat, but
like a sealed Zelda game is probably low risk at all.
I think
right?
I still have
like that would be Zelda risk, right? It would be like something like don't they have like a DS game like Cooking Mama? Like that would be a risk. But like something like Animal Crossing, right?
The Zelda game.
Like that would be risk free, right?
The brain ones with the puzzles and all that.
Right, like just
so I bought a Zelda game that day. I bought one game, Zelda. I have it listed for $90.
You still have it listed?
I just recently listed. Like I was like, okay, I've had this forever. It was on my shelf back here, matter of fact, and I finally decided, let's see what it's worth now. And I listed it because, like, that's kind of what I'm doing with these toys up here. Like, I got these Masters of the Universe figures up here, and then I just bought all the figures from the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie that came out. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep them on my shelf, just for looks for like 5 years, and then I'll sell them. And so that's what I did with that Zelda game. I've kind of done that just in spots. And so, like, some of these figures up here are 2 years old now, so I'm getting, I'm 3 years away from, and they've definitely gained value. Some of the better ones up there.
Do you have any of them listed for like?
No, none of them are listed.
I'm list them for like some kind of ridiculous price.
Yeah,
like
not at all.
What you would want for them? No,
no, not yet.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I know.
I listed last year. I listed a Lamar Jackson rookie card, and I got so couple years. I always get on stuff on the end of things, but it was towards the end of where cards are getting big. So I found a couple auctions. I got some good deals on some cards, and then I shipped them off to get graded through like a it's a grading company called SCG. It's not as good as like the Beckett or whatever, but
PSA.
It was cheaper. And you could what is it?
PSA.
Yeah, PSA. I did know that, but I couldn't think of it. But the turnaround time was like way less. And so anyway, I put some money into these, and then when I got them back, they weren't. But people were having them selling for in an auction. They were just like, I was like in a break even. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So I listed them for what I would want for them, and I got a bunch of like low offers for a year. But this year, Lamar Jackson's absolutely killing it. So I sold it. I sold it for I listed it for $100, and I sold it for $100.
Nice.
But
isn't it weird how like sports cars? Because when I was a kid, I collected sports cars, and they're still that way. Like it's literally how the players play. Like if he's hot, like right now, Lamar Jackson, he's on his way to the AFC Championship game. Like he's one of the hottest. He's going to possibly win an MVP or something like that. So like his card
is the highest it's probably going to be, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's like the total opposite of like say a Jalen Hurts card.
Yeah.
Total opposite.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it only takes like that loss. What's the Titans quarterback?
Tannehill?
No.
Levy or Levitz or something.
I don't know, or whatever it was. But like it only takes one loss that all of a sudden their cards tank. You know what I mean? And then you have to wait all till the following season,
or like an injury.
Or an injury. That's big.
So yeah, when I did I did prospecting for baseball cards. I would buy guys that were in the minor leagues and speculating that they're gonna do good in the major leagues when they get there. And I, like a dummy, I was obsessed with like pitchers, and pitchers blow out their arms all the time. So I bought I was buying this pitcher and just loading up on his cards, these autograph cards, just buying anyone I could. And they just like he got like a Tommy John surgery, absolutely like destroyed the. And then I waited an entire year. He comes back, pitches a few, and got hurt again. So like this is when I first started getting back into I call it regular reselling, like stuff like this. Like thrift
that actually makes money.
Yes, exactly. Like the other stuff, you have to get a little luck on. Good price. I mean, it's the same thing but you have to pay more for that stuff. And I took his collection and I sold it for barely anything, and I used that money to buy a online arbitrage. Scrub Daddies from Home Depot.
Scrub Daddy.
You know what Scrub Daddies? It was on Shark Tank. It's
like the sponge with this happy face on it, right?
Happy face, yeah, and it does.
Okay, I think we have one of those upstairs.
Yeah. They like had on Home Depot. This is when I first started resell. I would go search BrickSeek every day.
Oh my gosh. And that's when I talk about retail arbitrage feeling like work when you spend all that time on BrickSeek.
Yeah, but you have to you don't really find I don't know if it was good at the time, but it's just I'll check it once in a while now, and there's nothing ever on. I think nothing.
So BrickSeek is a website that you can go to. There's a paid version where you can find like your local brick and mortar stores like Walmart, Target, and Lowe's and stuff. You can see their clearance items that are supposedly on their shelves at that moment. Like you can go on there, say, pick the store by your house and see that they have this item on clearance right now, and you can run down there and hopefully get them, right?
It's never there when I went to go look.
It's never.
And they usually will tell you how many they have in stock, all that, and it's never.
Yeah. I've had the same experience with it.
I think isn't it like the paid version, or it might be another one that you can actually see like for like newer products too, that they're getting them in. Like they'll get a shipment in on Thursday or something like that. People were doing that with the when the PlayStation 5 was coming out and all that. They would know what
that's a controversial topic that we could maybe, because what do you got? I call that scalping. I don't want to bash, but like to me, this is the way I put it. I don't like being put in the category with scalpers as a reseller. I don't like the idea of because they're called resellers too, but what they're doing, like Joe said, is they're going and buying all the PS, like last Christmas, they went and bought all the PS5s out. Like, so Walmart and Target and all the retail stores didn't have any available. So if you wanted a PS5 for your kid, you had to buy it from these resellers, and they had it marked up $300 or whatever, right? What are you guys' thoughts on? Like, I don't like I don't have it's a different kind of hustle to me. I don't like what I do being compared or put in the same group. Does that make sense? Is that me being like
I look at it the same way because I was one of those kids that did it with the sneakers. That was me on a Saturday morning waiting out front of, I did it when I was a kid, but I also did it when I was in my 20s. You know what I mean? Before they started with the online selling and all that. I would be the kid that went out there and sat in front of the Foot Locker, get there 3:00 in the morning and they were opening at 9 a.m. and wait till the shoes came out. And then if there were shoes left over at the end after everybody that was in line bought them, I'd just get back in line and buy that second pair to try to sell one and keep one for myself and things like that. So I see that as being the same thing as what people were doing with the PlayStation, the PlayStations and all that. Now, my markups really weren't that big. People were, what was a PlayStation, $500 and they were selling them for $1,000. You know what I mean? Like it was never like a double up like that. Maybe on a couple pairs of shoes, but nothing. So.
The fact that if you wanted one, that's who you had to buy it from. And I want to be clear, I'm not talking about clearance shoppers because I know to me there is a big difference. If you're a retail arbitrage clearance shopper who's buying it when the stores basically said we don't want it anymore, we just want to get rid of it because nobody will buy it, then you're willing to buy it and then flip it. I compare that more to reselling than someone that does that where they clear out the shelves. It feels to me, I don't know, it feels to me like we have to buy them all to make sure that there's none available for the public, so they have to come to me to buy it. Like, that's how it feels.
Yeah. You look at it two different. Like I said, I never had the opportunity to buy like the PlayStations and all that, but at the same time, I don't know if I would have put that much. I guess they were selling like
they
crazy.
Are spending a lot of money.
There's you buy 3 PlayStations, $1,500, and you had to put all that plus tax, put all that money out and all that. But I don't.
My brother sat outside to get an Xbox. Well, he went up to the it's Meijer.
Meijer,
If you don't know, Meijer's kind of like a Walmart, Target type store in the Midwest. I'm assuming. I think they're just in the Midwest. Anyway, he went up there to get something, and all of a sudden I get a text from him. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be up here. I guess they're releasing some Xbox tonight, and I'm gonna get one, and I'm gonna sell it." And I'm like, "Okay." So he sat out there. He plays PlayStation. He doesn't want Xbox, but he's buying it to resell it. And to be honest, he sat out there for 5 hours, and he bought it, and he listed it. It sold. And I think he made $200 or $300. He sold on eBay, and didn't seem like it was worth it to me, to be honest. I wouldn't want to sit there and do that. It sounded miserable to do that. It was cold outside to sit there and do that, and I don't know.
That was just like when cards were big.
He used the money to get he wanted a PlayStation, so he used the money to buy his PlayStation.
Like when cards were big in Target and Walmart were getting there was people that would literally camp out there for a full day. And once they figured out the route of the delivery guy, they would, and you're buying $40. I think at the time they might've been $25 for a blaster box, and they're selling them for $40 online. To spend all that time out there and make that, $7 or $8, what are you making after all that when you break it down to hours? You know what I mean?
I got into the drawing for Crocs for
the Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen. And I put myself in the thing to get it. I was I'm not gonna get these. So I bought them in my size. It's a women's 10 if you're listening. I got them. I don't remember what they cost. Were they? I think they were $75.
They were $75 or something, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and I got them, and I got them. They're cool, but I'm I'm literally never gonna wear these. So I saw theirs. I bought them to probably more to sell, but I ended up selling for $125. I think it wasn't anything. After I did it, wasn't I wouldn't. That's so. It's just in the moment.
it's my thing is more along like I know it's just me being
no, I don't. It's fine. I don't think
it's the perception thing. It's not like I understand they're putting up money. I understand that they're flipping an item. It's how it's perceived by, like, say, the public, the general public, if you will. Like, what I'm doing is I'm buying a collectible that's hard to find at a yard sale from somebody. Like, I'm not clearing the shelves at a store where, this person wants to go buy their kid a PlayStation 5 for Christmas and they weren't able to unless they were spent. I'm saying like that general public view on it, the scalping view.
Oh, the view's bad. I mean, especially if you're not into any sort of reselling, any sort of things like that. I mean, the general public hates all resellers, I would think. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I think they hate the people that are doing it at a retail establishment even worse. You know what I mean? I think there's like levels.
And that's why I kind of talk about that being grouped with them, because like if you took that out of the thought, like these, because if you say that's a reseller doing that, then everybody puts all resellers in. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No,
I mean, I see it too. I mean, I see, because there's people like there's tons of video like you guys that make the videos like going to yard sales and stuff like that. There's a couple of them, probably even more, that come out every year where you run into like a seller at a yard sale that literally doesn't like selling to a reseller for whatever reason it is. You know what I mean? I've never come across that, but I do tell people, if someone asks me at a yard sale or somebody asks me at the flea market, what do you do with it? I usually tell them I'm going to resell it. I mean,
but you say it nasty, like you're like, I'm gonna buy this for super cheap. I'm gonna resell this.
After you buy it, you tell them. You wait till after you buy it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the general public doesn't like resellers. I think that I know.
No,
I was watching this girl on TikTok, and she's upcycling like cool sports stuff. Like she made this really cool Buffalo Bills vest out of a flag. And makes cool hoodies, repurposes it from like a hoodie. And it's so cool. And I watch a few videos. I'm like, man, that would be so cool to do something like that. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give her a follow on TikTok. So follow her, and then like one of her videos goes, she's like, let's go inside this Goodwill, and I'm gonna show you why resellers ruin everyone's life, because everything in here is so expensive. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, well, I guess I'm unfollowing this chick. It's just like instantly was like, oh my God. Like it was just
and basically she's doing the exact same thing.
She's,
you know what I mean?
Repurposing them and selling them
for because she has an Etsy store, she's better.
Right. So I mean,
lady, if you ever watch this, you're no better than me. You're more creative.
I had it happen on Facebook one time. That's because I stopped sharing like my solds and stuff on my Facebook, because I used to share what I was selling on Facebook. Like I didn't know how to do social media at the time, so I'd just share, I sold this and I sold that, and I'd put it on my Facebook feed. And then I was trying to buy something on Facebook with my account, and hey, is this available with some trains? I'll never forget. It was a bunch of good, like what's that train brand? Lionel trains. And it was priced pretty good. I was definitely would have made some money on the deal. So I sent her a message, and she's like, I wouldn't sell this to you, you reseller. And I was like, I just looked at your account. I just looked through your feed, and I see that you're just going to buy these to flip them. And she was me. I was like, all right, my bad. I didn't mean to get you all worked up, but she was not happy. And she's like, I'm going to sell them to somebody else, and I'll sell it to them for more.
You should have Sonia
or less. I mean,
yeah.
And then you sit in the car while Sonia buys them, and then when you drive away, you go, "Hey-o!"
Hey. No, but this is Dan's 100% accurate. Like, again, to clear off my plate to where I don't have any work to do, we now use Sonia's account to contact people on stuff. Like, I'll be like, okay, there's something on Facebook. Will you message them? Because I don't want them to see. But now Sonia shares like our podcast and stuff, so people will see that on there too.
Oh no. Well,
yeah.
Oh, you're not getting any more deals.
It was only that one time that happened, though.
It's called Pocket Change. Which, I have to tell you guys. So I was watching a live on the Trash to Cash podcast this weekend, the Bash. Like, what are the chances that Dave is sitting next to ADH Dave is sitting next to a guy who instantly they start. The guy has a podcast called Pocket Change.
Shut the front door.
No,
Nope. It happened. I went back and watched it before he pulled the video down or whatever, and it was he's sitting next to a guy that has a podcast named Pocket Change Podcast. Now I don't know if it's a resell. Is it? I'm assuming it's a resell.
Resellers too.
I'm assuming because he's at the Trash to Cash reseller bash, sitting next to Dave.
I couldn't hear his name, and I didn't want to. Because Paul the Philly Flipper, he got on there and was telling me we need to change the podcast. Which, to be fair, I just want to put out there that the name was not my idea; it was them two. I had nothing to do with the name. So I'm totally out of it. So it's you guys.
You're free of all this.
But I wanted to message Paul to see what the guy's name was.
Dan wanted to call it Politics Now, and we were like, that just doesn't work for a reseller.
I couldn't hear the guy's name. I didn't hear his name. I think I found it on Spotify. I'm not really sure. He said there was only like 40 listeners. He said we're really small, which I was like, we're small. Like we don't have that many. I mean, if you're listening, if you're this far into the podcast, you should probably hit subscribe on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, you should.
And if you're listening to us on audio, leave us an audio review on Apple. If on Apple, we're the hot air balloon.
If we even get a review, are we ever even going to know about it? Like,
I don't know. I'm still.
I've been doing podcasts for quite a while now. I've never seen.
We all know. We all know your resume.
I'm the rental podcast host, and I've been doing podcasts, and I've never seen a single review on any of them.
It says on Apple there's 2. I can't read them. I don't know how to read them.
Are they?
I don't know.
Do they have like stars or anything? Like, do they rate us? Like,
I think so, but I don't know if it's because it's the Apple has to be under a person's account, so it's under my account. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's a hot air balloon. I still don't know how to change that.
Maybe one day. Maybe I don't have Apple, so there's no way for me to check.
You can't log into your account and see anything.
Can't you do something, Joe? What have you done?
Nothing. No, I show up.
Your job is to go find those reviews, Joe.
Well, Dan has his password. I asked Dan for a password, and it's 75 letters long.
So, like, a review is something that it's probably public information. So, like, somebody that could just go on to, again, I don't have Apple. What is it? Apple Podcast? Is that what it is? Like, you have to go on to Apple Podcast and go to our podcast and then look at our reviews, right? I don't understand. I wonder if does Instagram have that or not? Instagram, Spotify. I don't know. Look, I got them both.
Dan, you
researching right now.
You found the other Pocket Change. Did you listen to it?
I was listening to.
Is it a reselling podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they talk about like crossing a highway in New York or anything like that? Or
like this is ours on. This is us. If you can't see this if you're listening, but this is us on Apple.
I like the hot air balloon.
What's with the hot air balloon?
I can't change it. I don't know how to change it. No one ever helps me.
Jeez.
All right.
So then go down here.
Like that's AI at its worst. That's wait, 5-star reviews. So we have
5-star reviews.
All right.
So they didn't leave a message. They just gave us 5 stars.
But like I keep hitting that, and then it might just be me though.
Our 2 5-star reviews are Dan and Joe. That's it.
I was trying to find. I was looking for. I found this other one. It's called Pickers Podcast.
Come on, Apple AI. What is that? It's the Pocket Change Podcast. You give us a hot air balloon.
To be fair, we are on listening. We are the Pocket Change Reselling Podcast.
So on Apple?
On all of the.
So it's the Pocket Change Reselling Podcast.
Well, that's on
audio.
But see, here, you can see
Pocket Change Reselling Podcast. Oh, then there's Pocket Change right below us.
I think that's them. I don't.
Jefferson Benz and Joel Austin.
I don't know if that's them. That's the one I was listening to.
Jefferson Benz.
But they're Pocket Change. We're the Pocket Change Reselling Podcast.
Okay, so we got to start saying that then. We're Pocket Change Reselling Podcast.
No, we said
it's too long.
Yeah.
We could just call ourselves the intro.
Dan, what did you get us involved in, man? It's always something.
We can quit right now. Let's quit.
You say that. Listen, now the comments are going to pour in how much everybody loves Dan, and the rest of us they could care less about. No,
Dan gives us a name that another podcast.
You guys have a wife and family. I have my dog doesn't even like hanging out with me.
Oh, we're supposed to show our dogs on here this week. Dang it!
Oh, we are.
We have a viewer that keeps asking us to bring. I don't have my dogs down here.
My dog is at my mom's house.
Dang it! I got to remember that next week.
You ship your dog off every day.
Not every day. I've had him for about 2 weeks straight.
Well, I can't have Bean down here because he'll eat everything down here. I told you he ate one of my.
I missed,
and of course,
comment, and I must have missed it before.
The San Francisco 49ers are in the NFC Championship game, and what did Bean eat? A vintage starter 49ers hat. So now I have this vintage 49ers hat that has dog bites all in it. So I can't sell.
Oh, well, you could sell it to a Lions fan because the dogs are gonna come out. Or you can just write.
I'm gonna list. I'm gonna go. It's up in my closet with all these dog bites. I'm gonna list it anyways. It's vintage starter. It should. Maybe I'll get $20 for it. I mean, it's probably a $60 hat if it wasn't messed up.
I sold a Baltimore Ravens quarter zip fleece or sweatshirt this weekend. I bought it. I bought it like 2 weeks ago. I saw it. I'm like, this will sell.
Man,
right. This is gonna sell right now. That's the only reason I bought it. And then I was worried it wasn't gonna sell. And luckily,
that's a good topic. With the sports, with the football playoffs going on right now. Like I sold some Packer stuff, and like the teams that are in the playoffs and doing well, their stuff is definitely solid.
Yeah.
I think last summer I bought this sweet.
Jimmy,
it's in one of my videos. It was sweet satin vintage Detroit Lions jacket. And I sold it pretty quick. I paid up for it. I think I paid $40 for it, but I think I sold for like.
Am I freezing or is he freezing?
Probably me.
Jimmy's freezing. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right.
Yeah, you keep on going in and out. If you go out and come back in, will that work?
I'm doing it right now. See you guys tomorrow.
See you.
Wait, what? What happened?
I don't know. He was. He's coming back. So he says. I probably will come back.
Maybe he might have another podcast he has to do.
Yeah, he might. You know what, Dan? I'll be back tomorrow too, Dan.
All right, I'm back. Am I clear now?
Yeah, you sound better now.
You sound better.
All I got was
this
jacket.
All I got was the satin Detroit Lions jacket.
Yeah, I bought that at a flea market, actually. A flea market. And I paid up for like $40 for it, and I sold it. It sold really quick. I think I made about $100 profit on that thing because it was a really good vintage satin jacket. But right now I'm thinking about the guy that bought that. And like he's probably rocking that thing every weekend while the Lions are in the play. Like I wonder if he's wearing it at the game. Like I wonder if the Lions jacket that I bought is at that game, So
I saw a thing yesterday on Instagram. It said half of the United States is voting for Detroit to win.
No, I would like to see them win.
Me too.
I grew up in the Bay
jumping
Area.
on that bandwagon.
I grew up
on that bandwagon.
I am.
I get it. San Francisco all the way. I grew up across the state from San Francisco, so
it's tough because Detroit's in the same. They're in the same division as the Bears, so that's a little.
And I'm having internet issues again.
Yeah, what the heck? But my grandfather was a huge Detroit Lions fan. He lived in Toledo, Ohio, so it wasn't like that far. But like when we used to go visit and be around, there would always be Lions stuff around. So it's kind of cool.
About up here, like being in Ohio now. Like I just realized two of the worst franchises in football are up here: the Browns and the Lions, and then the Bears are up here too, and they suck. Man, all these teams up here in the north suck.
I think it might be a good.
Had here liking us. You're gonna. Then he freezes. He says that stupid stuff, and then he freezes.
I don't know.
We can't keep talking football.
Everybody's going to go over and watch the other Pocket Change podcast.
Yeah, what the heck?
Dang it, man! Everybody's leaving here because of Jimmy's internet connection.
Yeah, what the heck?
Am I still frozen?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
man. I see it on my screen. I get this little notification saying my signal's bad.
And you're hardwired in?
Yeah. It says what? It says connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging in your router or moving closer. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm plugged in.
What's the weather like outside?
It's cold, but it's not snowing or anything. It's just cold. Oh, it went away. The little notification went away. Maybe. Well, my boys are home and they're gaming right now.
That's
So I go
probably
upstairs
what.
and yell at them.
Yeah, why don't you go tell them?
Are they hardwired in too, or are they on?
We're all
Wi-Fi?
hardwired in. Yeah, we're all hardwired in. But I've never had this issue. I think I had it one other time on that other podcast I was on, and that's
what was
it.
the name of that one?
I don't remember.
Huh? Oh, I thought you were talking about the wrestling. You're wrestling.
No, not the. No,
doing
it was
that?
a different one. Huh?
Oh.
You still doing the wrestling?
Yeah, I did take this week off. I had to take a week off. I got some things going on here at the house that were kind of urgent that day, so did not record last week. But we should be back at it.
All right. We can't even talk about wrestling. I was gonna say we have the Royal Rumble this weekend. We can't talk about that.
No.
Oh, is it already this weekend?
Yeah, it's
not
Saturday.
on this one.
Not on this one. Not on this one.
Yeah.
It's a political podcast coming soon. Wrestling podcast. And
Yeah. Did you steal anybody's name with the wrestling podcast, Jim?
Well, I don't know. It's called Pedigree. Which is a wrestling move. The Triple H's wrestling move.
Triple H. Yeah.
Who's been Seth Rollins has been used. Sorry, we're not talking wrestling. What are we talking about now?
We can't. Oh, why don't we talk about last week? Last week, when we got done, we didn't talk. You said you made a cool sell. You didn't even get a chance to talk about.
Which one was it?
The one from the bins from the He-Man.
Oh yeah, another one of Sonia's finds. The star of the old school flip show over here. She found this He-Man. It's like a top. It's like a spin. Like you'd pull the string and there was a top that would spin and his arms would go out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the string or anything. It was just the figure with it, and it was in pretty good condition. Twistoid, I think is his name. Twistoid. It's something I had never really even heard of. But yeah, it sold for $199.99.
Dang.
Found at the bins, paid less than $1 because it wasn't that heavy. It was less than half a pound. Yeah, $200 sale. So Sonia found $200 toy, $115 Yeezys. I did find a pair of $220 boots at the bins though.
Did they sell yet?
Yeah, those have already sold too.
What was the
Westco.
Westco.
Yeah, I had never even heard of them, but our bins again, really good. I mean, compared to what I'm seeing on YouTube and in my comments and stuff of the videos I've been putting up in there, and just in general, I just know, I found some. Have you heard of their Christmas decorations? I just found them. Buyers, BYERS, Buyers Collection.
Never heard of it.
And they're like these figures that are they almost look like paper mache, and they have these weird ghostly looking faces. Anyways, I found 3 of those, and I just listed them all 3 for $100. For the bundle, and I found those at the bins. So I'm finding really good stuff at my bins, and I'm making a lot of friends too. Hi, if you're watching, all my friends there.
Well, we know that you didn't make that one friend, but we're not going to talk about her.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We're already talking about we're going to have a reseller party this summer from all the people that go down there. I'm learning a lot too. You guys know about True Vintage? Does that mean anything to you?
No. True Vintage?
So I felt like a dummy when I was asked that, because there's this kid down there, Jason, who he sells only True Vintage, true. And I was like, well, yeah, it's from the 80s. And he's like, no, he's like, so what he considers true vintage and kind of the market that he's in is stuff that's 60s and 50s, this kid, he goes to barns in the Midwest and he goes up into Montana and Missouri, and he'll knock on someone's door that has a barn, and him and his friends will knock on the door, kind of like American Pickers, right? And they'll be like, hey, can we go look through your barn for old clothes? And I'm like, why would anybody? And they're finding these Carhartts and Levi's from way back in the 60s and stuff. And the more paint and from construction workers and painters and stuff. And that they would just leave them on the job site for whatever reason or whatever. They're finding this stuff, and he is making, he's finding these old 50s and 60s clothing that he's selling on this little specific marketplace, but he's getting $300, $400 for a old denim I mean, we're talking like an old Carhartt jacket that has like paint all over it and like tears in it, and like they're making a fortune. Like these, and it's like this thing now. It's like, and it's like inner city style. People that are like walking around in bigger cities. This is the style that they want. Like they want that jacket that came out of a barn in Missouri as part of their outfit. And so like I'm trying to learn about it.
It just has to be paint on it.
I mean, that helps the value. It doesn't have to have it.
Because I have like Carhartt stuff, and I get it when it's got oil stains and stuff on it. And I think I found like a banger.
Oh, banger! Oh,
yeah. And I can't get rid of it for $10.
See, it has to be true vintage. So like, like
where's he selling it at?
Some of it's on eBay. I'm sure if I look right now, some of it's on eBay. He uses like Depop also.
Yeah, that's what I figured, something like that.
But I probably again, this is the kind of stuff that he's on. And the thing is, like, he doesn't even look through the hard goods when they come out, like hardly at all. He's like at the bins, he's only looking through the clothes. But like he is so like he'll be like so like, and he'll do some 80s stuff too. Like he'll be like, yeah, this Nike right here, this is from the 80s. I could tell because like. He's like, and it's rare because the logo's right here in the middle instead of up in the corner and stuff. And I'm like, and he's like, it's like a $60 Nike sweatshirt. And I'm like, it just looks like a junky Nike sweatshirt to me. And he's like, it's got tears and it's got wear. But he's like, no, because of the age, it'll sell. So, anyways, I'm trying to learn from him. He seems younger, but man, he's got a lot of knowledge. Like he's like showing me stuff on tags and stuff. I'm like. And so I'm trying to learn this, but I was like, I'll never get my fat butt up in a barn looking for stuff. And I was like, if I knock on the door and say, can I get in your barn? And they're like, that's not going to hold you, sir. So you can't go up there. But it's pretty crazy. Like he sent me a picture of a pick that he did in Cincinnati. And it's like this old I should find it. It's this really old building. You can see like the walls are all falling apart and stuff. And it's like an entire floor just like closed out of the corners and everywhere, and like it just says everything's free, and it's spray painted on the walls, like free, could take it. And he's like, it's wild. It's this whole other world that I didn't even know existed, but it's out, and he's making he's like I sold 90 pieces over the holidays or something like that, but he's selling them for high dollars.
Yeah, I mean, I have enough trouble finding regular vintage, let alone something that's. What's he call it? True vintage?
True vintage. It's something that I want to, again, he's not finding a lot of that stuff at the bins. He's doing it more like when he does that picking that I talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a lot of knowledge. And I'm just like, it's always good to learn more stuff about reselling and to find out that there's this markage. Yeah, like true vintage sweatshirts, like 40s, 50s, like, look at this. It says 40s, 50s, United States Navy single V sweatshirt. And this person has that sweatshirt listed for $1,000. And he's able to ID that it's from the 40s or 50s, like by the tags and everything. And I'm just like, and it's got stains and wear and holes.
I look for those old, the champion ones. I never found one, but the old champion brand, like colleges and all that, they do pretty good.
That stuff does really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of information because I'm still learning it, and I don't understand exactly how he knows how something's that old, but he can tell. Like he just picks it up and he can, and so right now, true vintage sweatshirts are hot. Like a sweatshirt with like a V, that's the stuff that people want. And I'm like, I had no idea.
Me either.
Anyway, so Dan, I need you to go to your bins and find some true vintage.
You should talk to the Van Buren boys to see if they know it.
I'm not gonna find that stuff, and if I find it, it's never gonna be. It's never something that sells for $500. It's always I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a true vintage piece, and then I'm gonna sit on it for I don't know, a year and a half, and I'm gonna sell it for $15.
The old Nikes. Did you find something Nike this week?
Did I?
There's like Nike shorts.
Yeah, I found a pair of. Well, I did. My brother gave me a bunch of stuff. and there was a pair of Georgetown basketball shorts in there for Nike basketball shorts. And I was thinking, basketball shorts probably selling for like $30 or something. And I don't know. I know there's like different tags and stuff for Nike. I don't know anything about that stuff. And I saw the tag on it, and it said Team Sports, which I felt like I don't see now, so I felt like it was older. But then I noticed it said Made in the USA, so I was like, "Oh, that's pretty interesting." And when I looked them up on eBay, I saw a pair sold for $80 on an auction, and then someone had a listed pair, buy it now, for $159. So didn't really know where I should price it at. So I ended up pricing them for $99.99.
And you think you're gonna get it? Like, is there interest?
I have like 5 or 6 watchers on it now. I did offers this weekend. I sent out some offers. I sent like a $90 offer. I don't know. We'll see. Like, I have nothing into it, but I was pretty happy that it was like as bad as it's been finding stuff to list right now. Like, something like that was nice, because if I'm trying to list, I'm nowhere near my goals of listing, but listing something for $100, and I've been listing toys and stuff, like hats and stuff. Like,
are you finding good toys?
No, absolutely not. No. I don't really know much about toys either. It was just I found some toys at the bins, and I collected them for my whatnot shows for the garage sale category when I sold in those, and I never put them on there. And I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure I've quit whatnot for the foreseeable future. Like, I'm just not gonna.
You should put them in a lot on eBay. Like, you can do if you go on there and look, people will sell mixed action figure lots on eBay. Just lay them out there. It literally doesn't even have to be even close to the same genre.
Imagine X, Coco Melon, and like Paw Patrol.
So again, the way I do it is like so like if I myself right now, like when I go to the bins, if I see Imagine X, I grab it. If I see any of that stuff, I like grab it, and then eventually I'll have a lot of all Imagine X, right? Yeah. And so like if I get 30 Imagine X, I'll do $1.50 a piece. So if I have 30, I'm doing $45 for the lot. And it will sell. Like, for sure it's gonna sell.
I know. Like right now I have one Imagine X piece. It was a boat. It's like a boat. And that's all I had. And I was just trying to get some listings. I was trying to do some listings. So I listed it for I think $12 or $15, something like that. And it was just like the Coco Melon and the Paw Patrol stuff was not really worth listing at all. But I took the time to look it up and stuff. And I had sitting here, I'm like, well, let me at least make something on it. So
I've done that with the like buying like boxes of, which I haven't done in a while since I moved, but I would buy like old, or whenever I seen like Matchbox cars, and then or whatever, Hot Wheels, Matchbox, whatever those types of cars are, and a lot of times you'll find them at a yard sale or whatever, and they're selling them, $4 for $1, and then take the whole box for $5 or whatever. I'll take the whole box and then go through them, to see if I see anything that's in there, and eventually just sell put 25 cards together or whatever. And then I always put in like junkyard lot or junkyard, cars or whatever, and then sell it off that way. But sometimes, and I never started at $1. I'll start it off at like $20 or something that's, there are sometimes. What's that?
You did an auction?
Yeah, it would just auction it off. And
a lot of people do that. I know a seller that's what I don't know him, but I follow him I met him once and I follow him now on eBay. I just follow his store, and that's what he does. He just buys toys and then puts the lot up there on auction. And what he's probably doing is starting the auction off just a little, so he knows he's going to make some money. Yeah, he gets bids all the time. Like, his stuff some of it gets bid high, some of it gets bid decent, some of them only get one bid.
Yeah, most of the cars things I did would get 1 or 2 bids, and that would be it. But if I started off at $20, I know but I would pick out certain ones that are in there. And sometimes you'll find an older like Red Line or something in there, or just like a car that's whatever was one of the limited edition ones in there. But that does take time though to go through. you know, and then try to identify that car and things like
Well,
that.
that's what I want to ask both you guys. And this, like, that's one of the things that the bins has been great for me is learning. Because are you guys doing this? Like, if something looks good, I put it in my cart. Like, I'm doing that, right? Like, that's the kind of how I do the bins. If it looks like it's worth money at all, I just put it in my cart. You know, when they rotate the bins, they'll bring a new thing of bins out. I'll just put stuff in my cart or in a bag or whatever, and I'm holding on to it. And then I go over to the corner after the rotation, after I've gone through all the new bins, and I'll go there and I'll look stuff up. Are you guys doing that? Like, are you at the bins looking stuff up? And then I put back the stuff that's not good after. I mean, I'm not like I'm still picking. I'm trying to find stuff that I think is good. Like, I'm not grabbing just random stuff. But then, you know, because I do grab stuff that looks like it's worth money, and then it's not while I'm there at the bins. I look it up and I put it back. Are you guys?
I don't usually.
You learn a lot doing that. You learn a lot when you do that.
I used to not really do a lot of that, like comping stuff. Like if I'm out at a yard sale or whatever, or like flea market, I usually don't comp stuff unless it's like for a higher price item. You know, if I'm spending $40 for something, I'm going to look it up before I roll the dice on it. And then I don't go to the bins. We talk about it here on the show sometimes. I don't go to the bins, but my Goodwill prices have skyrocketed so much that I literally look up everything that I buy first at the Goodwill stores, you know what I mean, or thrift stores in general or whatever, because of the prices that are going up. Before it used to be, you know, $3 for a T-shirt. I would roll the dice on that, but now they're $7.99. You know what I mean? So I'm going to look it up before, especially when there's not like somebody hovering over you, you know, at yard sales or whatever. Somebody, you know, usually the people are always looking at you and whatever. You might feel a little weird looking, you know, items up or whatever. But at the thrift stores now, I look everything up, and I never used to do that. And it's only because the amount of, you know, jeans now used to be $5.99. Now they're $12.99. So I'm going to look it up before I, you know,
resellers are ruining.
Yeah, it's Dan. You know, all these clothing resellers out there are jacking up all the prices.
Dan, do you look up stuff while you're at the bins, like while you're?
Yeah, at the bins, I look up stuff. I'll put everything in my cart, and then I'll look stuff up until when I find like a bunch. When I end up having my cart full, I do really bad I just end up buying stuff, and then I bring it home. Like when I go to the regular thrift store, it's kind of the same deal with Joe. Like it's kind of expensive, so I'll look it up. But I always look up stuff. I sell mostly clothes and shoes. That's what I'm looking for when I go to the thrift store. That's what I'm looking for. When I'm at the bins, I usually there for shoes, and then I'll go through hard goods stuff, and then I'll end with clothes. But when I'm looking up clothing, I've been selling clothes, I don't know, like 3 years now. And I always look up brands and stuff that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Or when you're going through the rack, people used to always like, oh, how you feel something. So it feels a little bit nice. I'll look it up, and that helps a lot. Like I just this past week, it was kind of when I asked you about your He-Man stuff, I was going to talk about like a really good sale I had this week. It was on a pair of jeans. I was at the thrift store a few months ago, and I found this brand of jeans called Robin jeans. I've never heard of it, and I'm looking through, and they kind of look like True Religion type jeans. I think like they just had like this look to them, and they had robin birds on the back, I think, or wings or something on the back flaps, and they just they looked honestly, they kind of looked a little cheap, but they looked pretty cool. When I looked them up, I comped them that day because it was not a sale day. I think I paid $9.50, $8 or $9 for them, and sales were like $100 for these jeans.
Wow.
And there were some that sold for like 30, 40, something like that, but they had like a style code in it. I looked them up. I listed them all. I think I had one pair had some issues with it, and I have those listed for 90, but I've sold I think they've been sitting for a while. I took an offer on a pair and I sold them for like 70, and this last week someone bought full price, paid $199.99 for them. So it was just it's a brand I've never heard, and there was like 3 of them sitting there, and I never heard of it. And then a few weeks ago I was at Salvation Army, and there was a shirt brand. I don't know for sure. There's another brand called Mantra, Mantra, and it was like a it was called a performance polo, but it looked like a Henley shirt, but it had a really nice like spandex feel to it. Not really nice, but it just looked nice. It looked something fancy. So I looked it up, and they were selling for like $30-$40 a piece for pre-owned. So I there were like 3 of them sitting right there. So I picked those up, and yeah, so I'll look up stuff like of stuff I've never seen before. I make sure and it burns me sometimes. I'll see something I can't make out what the brand is, and I'll just have a logo on it, and I'll just buy it because it's cheap. And I finally do some due diligence and find it's not worth selling. But anyway.
Robin, you said? I just want to remember that. Robin?
Yeah, Robin jeans.
ROBIN?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I clothes are something I always want to learn because I don't know clothes very well at all. I when I first started selling, I did a lot of clothes, and then I just fell off. So I would definitely walk right past those.
When I first got into reselling, I would sell. In my head, I would sell some clothes. When I couldn't find it, it was the last thing I would look for at the thrift store would be clothes, and then I was looking for more sports clothes. Like I guess not vintage. What is it? Retro. You know, retro. Like the older. You know what I'm saying? Like
styles.
Yeah, like a retro style. I mean, it'd be vintage now, but I guess maybe something like that. And then anyway, when I first started selling, I would list different things every day. Like maybe Monday and Tuesday, I might list hard good type thing. Thursday, I would list shoes. And then like every Sunday was like my clothes day. I would list clothes on Sunday. And but as time's gone on, it was just space, and you could go to the thrift store and I can find 20-30 pieces of clothing and not have a problem. And like, I don't know, but I enjoy selling clothes. It's my favorite.
I hate listing. What is it?
These are the Robin jeans. I don't know if you can. Yeah. Oh, well, you can see them.
Oh, okay. Yep, I see that.
Yeah, I hate listing clothing, but I really do enjoy when it sells because it takes no time to pack up.
Oh, it's the best.
It's so best. You know what I mean? But like taking the pictures and
I didn't sell a lot of clothing this weekend.
The questions you get with these clothes, like
oh yeah.
Question, like I listed a pair of new with tags polo like cargo shorts, polo Ralph Lauren cargo shorts, and they're size 31. Somebody asked me, are they a true size 31? Now in my pictures, they're laying flat with the tape measure, yardstick that I use across the top. And I forget, I think it was like 15, laying flat, it was 15 inches or whatever. So they wanted to know if they were a true size 31. How do I answer that? I said, I don't know. The measurements are in the thing. Oh, great. That's great. I get a second question of, can you measure the opening of the legs?
I always put the measurements for the opening
of for shorts.
Yeah, across the.
What do you do? Just lay them flat and then just measure the pant leg or the.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do the.
Of course.
I quit.
Well, I did. I'm funny, you guys. You said that because I just got a. So, are you gonna block the guy?
No, I didn't respond. Like, well, okay, now, so then I have to go.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Now I have to go and unpack it, because I put the clothing in like a little bag, and then I have it filed away under a number system. Then I got to go pull it and I can't tell you the last time anybody bought something that asked a question. If you ask me a question about something, it's 99.9999% of never sold it.
But you'll add the picture to the listing, and the next person won't have to ask you.
You're right, Dan. You're right.
I just got someone bought something for me last week. It was a Nike not a sweater, a vest with sleeveless vest, and I saw my feedback had went up, and I went to go. I mean, my score, the number, whatever, and I have to go look to make sure everything's still looking good. And the guy, his thing was the shirt is not a true extra large. Doesn't fit. And he gave me positive feedback and said buying experience was great. And I don't know if that's sarcasm at the end or if it's But
I mean, what are we talking about?
Like, what's true extra large? Like, everyone's different. So, like, I have the measurements in there,
and every company's different. Every extra large shirt is different from company to company.
I don't know what it's.
Some people just should not buy clothes online. If you, so for that, because if you're, here's to anybody, just anybody. If you're going to shop for clothes online, learn how to shop for clothes online. Find your item of clothes that fits you the best.
And compare it to what you have.
Then find those measurements.
I always look. I have to look for like cotton polyester blend. Has to be like
know what you see. That's Dan's. That's the
right.
Smart
It's different because
I can't wear 100% cotton. It's not going to fit me right.
Right. I agree 100%.
Like I can't wear that.
So
like when I find a shirt, I'm like, I want to extra large.
Because Dan knows an extra large 100% cotton versus an extra large 50-50 is a totally different fit. Like everything about it is different, but it's not. Yeah, don't get me started.
It's in the measurement. So anyway, but do you guys remember last week I was telling you about a person who asked me about 4XT? If this thing was 4 extra large tall. I don't. Chris Cajun Reseller made a comment. And I ended up Googling, which I don't know why didn't we think to look at, or someone tell me to look at Google last week. I Googled it, and according to Reddit, 4XT or XT is a more of a tailored fit than extra large tall. So, and it was more of a dress shirt would be. So if you didn't listen, this guy asked me a question about it, and like a great reseller I am, or customer person, or
blocked them.
I didn't block him. I wish I had. I just ignored him. So then I accidentally sent not accidentally. I sent offers out. The guy took advantage of the nice 10% offer I sent him, purchased the shirt.
Oh boy.
Then asked me a question about. So I see it comes through and it's sold. It's sold. And it is a Burberry.
You sold Burberry. Damn.
Yeah, Burberry shirt. And I was so pumped about the shirt. It had a stain on it. And I was at the thrift store and I found it. And I had to text my mom. I don't like messing with that stuff. But I'm like, Mom, do you think the stain come out? Because it was like a Burberry's a 4XT. Like, I mean, it's a 4X large shirt. Like, I want this shirt. And she's like, yeah, I think it come out. So I came home, did a little Fells Napa. It's a little, you know, Fells Napa. It's like it's
the bar.
It's a bar. It's like how you get stains out. It's like how your grandma gets stains out of stuff. It's like old
Napa.
It's
you go like Walmart and get it for like 50 cents.
It's a big bar too. It's not like the regular.
Yeah, and you scrub it. It is the best. My mom told me about it when I have a bar and I love it.
It gets stains out good then?
Yeah, pretty good. It usually works pretty good. It works pretty good. Like you find this, sometimes I might have to do it twice, but it works.
Be able to get the stain out of the Burberry? Did it work?
I got it out.
You got it out.
I try to do most. Very rarely. I mean, not very rarely. I hate asking my mom to help me with
except for sewing.
Well, sewing part I don't know how to do.
Yeah, I got you.
And I try not. If I find it, unless it's like worth a lot, like we're talking. So I found a cashmere sweater at the bins one time, and it was all. What do you call it? Like the
piling or
peeling? Yeah, peeling.
With the ball, with the
And this is before. Now I have a sweater shaver, but I like had it, and I was like, Mom, look at this sweater. My mom sat there and shaved it with like a razor for me. Like and I'm like, Mom, you don't have to do this. She's like, oh, it's fine. So after that, I got I bought a not after that, but there's some other reason came up that I bought a sweater shaver. So I use a sweater shaver now. I try my best not to ask my mom for something, but sometimes I find, well, not sometimes, but you buy stuff all the time, like it's got a hole in it or something, or I'll ask her to help me out. Like, can you please, like, if there's a hole in the inseam, or it's not in the inseam, but if there's a hole, like in a seam, she'll fix that for me, or stuff like that. So I don't remember what.
And you'll sell something that's been fixed like that, huh? I've never thought of
like so.
Never even thought to do that.
If it breaks in the seam, like you're not gonna know. Like no one's gonna notice that. My mom sewed on buttons for me. I had a pair of pants that had pee stains all over it that I used.
Have what stains?
Pee stains. It was.
Did you use that bar on it?
Yeah, I washed it. I soaked them in OxyClean. But they're a pair of what are they called? Seersucker Polo Ralph Lauren pants.
They had pee stains on them. I mean,
yeah,
like,
it was pee stains.
Was that the bins?
No. I paid full price for these suckers.
Paid up for
up.
them bad boys.
Where are you buying
Goodwill.
high priced
at Goodwill?
They didn't.
They
just
Sears
put them on the rack
band.
that way. Huh?
I still have them. I soaked them. I came home and I soaked them.
How long ago was this?
I sold them and they got returned too.
Of course, because they had pee on them.
They got returned pee stains.
I don't know if I recorded it to make.
Are they
video.
white? Like, how do you know they have these? You sure someone spilled their Mountain Dew or something?
They were white. I'm gonna show you two. I don't think they resold again.
Good night.
Full price. Then you give them. You probably paid extra. Listen, I'm going to give you 20 for these.
Yeah, but maybe I sold them,
and I still got them.
I might. Maybe I did sell them. Oh, I'm looking on. I got excited. I was looking on solds. I don't remember what was I talking about when I was talking about something.
We started talking about stain removal. We started talking about using the because you don't mind doing your own cleaning and repairing on items except for sewing.
And then somehow
that's why I don't do a lot of clothing that needs. Well, that's a nice picture, Dan.
Okay, so they have pleats in them, so they're old, right?
My mom ironed these for me.
Ew.
But you got to put. I think she's still buttoned.
So mom does the ironing and the sewing now.
Oh, see, they do have a spot. They have a spot right there. That's not pee. That's just dirt. I can't get that. Fells Nap, I couldn't get that off. At least I didn't. The second time I tried, I don't know where it came, but like it might have come. I don't know. Maybe that's why they're not selling.
I still don't know exactly what you guys are calling that bar.
I'm gonna look it up for anyone who's watching. If you're listening,
like the Auto Parts Napa.
Fells Napa.
Fells. Oh, Fells Napa. Okay. Never heard of it.
It is. You can get a bar. Oh, thought it was 50 cents. It's $1.78 at Walmart.
Dan has to have a Fells Napa affiliate link. Like that's
man.
There's not even a question that Dan has to have.
Put it down in the description, Dan.
Maybe I will.
Even if it's not something you make money from, we still got to have a Fells Napa
link. I'll put a link in there. I need some. I have to work on our descriptions. What is this? What's this episode been about?
We talked about glasses to start.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah. Let's
boring.
Is this going to be a part of the episodes where we think of the title at the end?
Maybe we should ask for help.
So
but the thing is, they're watching this right now. Y'all are listening and watching right now.
They watch all the way to the end.
The title.
I did want to. There was something else I was going to talk about. So the guy. I didn't finish the story about the guy with the Burberry shirt. Let me finish that before you randomly just end my show for me.
I'm not ending it. We got to hear the rest of the because you cleaned it with the Fells Napa. And then what?
Yeah. So the guy. So I sent out offers. The guy bought it, and then he's like, he's like, it says I'm trying to pay. Did I pay?
Oh boy.
That was on Friday. It's Monday.
Red card.
It's Monday this morning. Friday afternoon. Yeah, Friday afternoon. He sent that. It's Monday afternoon. The dude still hasn't paid.
Still hasn't paid?
No.
Still hasn't paid?
I messaged. I okay. It might be my fault though. It is my
here
fault.
We go.
Yeah, I didn't. Because I want to be. I have to be completely transparent.
How could that possibly be your fault?
Oh, because this is what I told the guy. Because then when I see it sold, I'm like, sold. I'm like, please don't be the guy that asked me the stupid question, please. And then I see that it is him.
It is. Of course it is.
And so I replied to him. I go, oh, I didn't see your other question. And I told him, I go, 4XT is, I believe, means more of a tailored fit for your shirt. So why don't you use the measurements to make sure it's going to fit you before you complete the transaction? And he replied, okay. So it is my fault, right? It's my fault.
Yeah, you talked them out of it. You talked them out of not paying. That's the bottom
line.
But
I didn't mean like, I didn't think I had to say like before you pay, within a reasonable amount of time. Like, I mean, I know he has 4 days, which I don't really get mad at, but it's just like, this guy's not paying. He's not buying this shirt.
What's his feedback?
Like, he doesn't even know if he paid or not. And if he's listening, I'm really sorry, man. But I don't know what your deal is, dude.
I don't know what your deal is, dude.
What's his feedback? Does he have like 1 or 2 feedback, or
I think it's like it might be 100 or something like that.
Yeah.
He has good
So
reviews.
you think he's just not going to buy them now? Then you think he's just bailing out?
I mean, I hope he doesn't, because I just feel like he's gonna be some kind of, there's just gonna be some problem, and I should have just blocked him to begin with. I should have just blocked him. And I'm gonna block it. I'm sorry, I have to keep rambling here too.
Let it out. I don't want you to hold this until next week.
Let the world know.
Joe, I texted this to you the other day. This person bought something from me on Friday afternoon. They bought it. I was already done with my shipping. Saturday on Poshmark, they, in the comment section of the item, they're like, when will you ship this? So I reply in the DMs on Poshmark that, like, hey, you bought this like after I was done with my shipping. I think I have 3 days to ship it, but I'm shipping it today. Which she replies, I know I bought this yesterday. I'm simply asking when you're going to ship it because it's a birthday shirt.
Oh, boy.
It's a birthday present.
And then you should have been like, well, listen here. I'm an ambassador.
I told her that I'm not implying that you didn't know you bought this yesterday. I'm saying that I had already done my shipping, and I'm shipping it out today, which was Saturday. And it's crazy for her to like ask that. I didn't say this to her, but it's absolutely crazy for someone to ask you when you're shipping something when you literally have like forever to ship it. Like you have there. Why? Like, I don't understand.
She probably watches the podcast and she knew that you would bring it up on the podcast.
Well, if she's watching, I would just like to let her know that I'm pretty sure she's probably going to give me some kind of 1 star on Poshmark or whatever the heck they do over there. I don't care.
Well, if you're listening on Apple, give us 5 stars.
She's gonna do something because she was mad. Like she stopped replying to me after I said that. But
I see your customer service skills are through the roof again, Dan.
Last week you guys said I did good on customer service. It's just like why do they have to ask me when am I shipping this? Like, it's Saturday. Like, I'm gonna ship it, but it's Saturday. Like,
did you make a special trip because of that message?
No, I didn't even. I had pickup here anyway. Like, literally, when she bought it, I was already in here, and the weather's been crappy, and my inventory that was out in the garage, and it's like I have a detached garage. Like, I didn't want to truck through the snow to go make that would have been a special trip.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
The hassle, this not even a hassle. It's just the annoyance of this person. It just
look, the weather's gonna clear on Tuesday. I should have it out on Tuesday.
I just like literally it was if you remember, it was a Gymshark sweatshirt I was talking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Back that someone they were out. They wanted to give me like $15 for it or something like that. It ended up selling for $19, so I was pretty happy about that because I thought I was, anyway. That's
so it's out in the mail now, though. It's out now, and
it's gonna be delivered today on Monday. Where most people on Poshmark were probably shipping it till today.
She just read what you said wrong. She took it the wrong way.
I mean, I'll be fair, but if you read if you like, so I was being kind of like
smart
I was being smart. Like, I have 3 days to do this, but I was trying to get like I have 3 days. I'm doing this on Saturday. Like, I'm being good. Like, I'm trying to say.
I feel like Dan.
You wanted a pat on the back. That's what you wanted.
I wanted her to leave me alone because it's like, why are you like? What is the point of asking me when I'm going to?
You wanted an attaboy.
You wanted an attaboy. That's what you wanted.
I was trying to put I was trying to make her like, yeah, it's a little unreasonable for me to be asking. Is what my point. Like, why are you asking?
I feel like, Dan, when you do customer service, you should type out what you're thinking and read it and then delete it and then type out.
Do you automatically, when you read her message, did you say, all right, bang, you sent a reply back right away? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's understandable.
I did wait on this person and I haven't replied to him. Like, just keep on. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, Are you Dan? Are you drinking a twisted tea over there in a can?
It's a kick.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I thought you were. I think you were
drinking. Like Dan's feeling better. He's got his twisted
tea over there.
I do feel better, but I didn't want to be like I'm a total wuss. But I have a cough still. I have a bit of a cough. But a few episodes ago, I was talking about that the Hoosiers, the Looney Tunes shirt I had.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I relisted it. I'm gonna cough. I relisted it, and I have it. I listed it on Mercari for $69 free shipping. And this guy, he messaged me, "I'll give you $20, LOL."
Ooh.
Wow.
And I instantly want to be like, "What's so funny? Like, why is that funny? Like, that is he? I don't know if is he being funny, or is he laughing at my price?
What if it's a viewer though? What if it's a viewer just messing with you? You should.
I don't know. Like, I appreciate them watching, but like, I'm for real. Like, what's funny? Are they being funny, or
is the offer funny?
But Jimmy just got done talking about some guy who's going up into barns selling paint stained shirts for $700. This is like a brand new old stock shirt, like Looney Tunes shirt, that I'm asking $69 shipped for. And they just raised the prices at the post office. It's gonna cost like $7 to ship it anywhere in the country. Probably $15 if I go over to Canada.
You're on a roll. That might be a twisted tea that you're drinking.
Yeah, just spray some paint on it, and maybe it'll go for the full price.
No, but what's funny? Is he being funny, or is he?
I don't understand. I don't understand the LOL either. I would have. No, I think you could have asked why is that funny. I probably would have asked why is that funny. I'm not sure.
All right,
no, I won't.
Right
I'm one of those guys. I think I use LOL.
It's on Mercari.
Too much.
So no, like, I would be.
I get in battles with people on Mercari.
I would say, no, thank you. But can I ask a question? Why did you put the LOL? What was funny? I don't understand.
I almost feel like he's just throwing it out there. Like, will you take 20? Like he's throwing. He knows it's a low ball offer.
LOL. Like, do you know that person that when they text they do LOL?
What's
funny? I'm not.
That's what I asked him. Maybe we'll see. Maybe if he doesn't reply,
stay tuned.
I don't think
stay tuned.
I'm that guy that uses LOL too much because
there's some people that just always put LOL like when they're typing, they put LOL behind even just regular.
I should have put LOL. I shipped it out today. LOL, but it was being for real.
That's gonna be Dan's go-to customer service technique now. But LOL is I feel like, so hear me out, because I feel like LOL is kind of a way to say, like, I'm trying to not, even though the offer was offensive, I'm trying to say, like, I'm not trying to be offensive about it. That's why I put the LOL at the end. I almost like, I understand if this is too low and if you say no. That's kind of how that LOL feels. Is that, would you say that, Joe? You use LOL a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever sent an offer with a LOL. I don't know. Like, I sometimes use LOL like in a serious conversation. Like, you know, like it shouldn't be like no one's laughing during this conversation but me. You know what I mean? Like,
I just stabbed someone in the face.
LOL. Yeah. Like I just came out to the car and there's a flat tire. Oh, that sucks. LOL. Like, why am I laughing? Because you have a flat tire.
I'm leaving the podcast. LOL.
Yeah. So that.
What'd you say?
I said I'm leaving the podcast. LOL.
You know, like something like that. Like,
I thought you said you're ending the podcast. No. And then I thought you ended the podcast.
My car don't start. Oh, that's a shame. LOL. Why am I
like a jerk move to say that?
I know, but that's what I don't
do.
Yeah, but I don't mean to do it. And then sometimes I catch myself, or sometimes, you know, my wife will be like, "Why are you laughing? I'm stranded in the middle of nowhere."
To do a legitimate podcast with me, let me know.
You know,
LOL.
My wallet got stolen. Oh, that's a shame, man. LOL. I mean, what? Like,
I hope there was nothing important in there. How much cash is in there?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Pocket Change Podcast.
Oh, that'd be
LOL.
good. Talk about